Welcome to Vesta Insights, a podcast series devoted to conversations with business associates and clients to help all business owners make better decisions. Vesta goes beyond the typical accounting firm, offering accounting, wealth, and advisory services. More information about Vesta can be found at vesta.cpa.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Vesta Insights. Welcome back to the podcast. Today, I have our old friend Sean, who is going to talk about tax planning, and I'm so sorry I just called you old.
Well, I appreciate it. You know, I feel young at heart, but tax planning and tax season kind of gets us a little age there. So.
Is that right? It's like being the president. You go in young and come out with gray hair, right?
Yeah, that's why I kept the beard a little short. I saw a couple grays, so trimmed it up.
Yeah. So Vesta, well known for their tax planning services. Wondering if you could walk a businessman like me. I have a small service firm, a small marketing firm. Why is tax planning important, number one? And how do you do it here at Vesta that is different or unique?
Yeah, so tax planning is, we think, vital to kind of how our businesses operate. I don't know if you've experienced this, but you kind of have those bad news come March or April in terms of I owe how much, or I didn't have my records set whatsoever. So we like to avoid that sting by working with our business owners year round, so they understand the consequences of any transactions that may happen. Tax isn't a factor that only gets dealt with at the end of the year. There's tax implications on every transaction that you may have as a business owner. So we like to kind of simplify it, meet with you more frequently, and make sure that you understand kind of what that tax burden or tax impact might be.
Sure. And that's a really important thing for business owners like me to understand. However, I've had that oopsie moment with an accounting firm that I worked with. We got a tax bill of $18,000. Now, normally we pay 2 to 4. We try to plan it out. Like I said, we're a small mom and pop shop. And I think and they're like, well, you should probably put some money aside monthly as an estimated payment. I'm like, there's no way I could estimate this. So what kind of pre-planning can I do to avoid situations like that? And it turned out to be an accounting error, which speaks to the firm. I'm not going to mention them.
I was going to say that wasn't a Vesta.
Right. So with tax planning, how does the other services at Vesta, number one, work in coordination with that to help somebody that may have had a sting of a bad situation before?
Yeah.
And we try to put aside a certain amount of money. And to be quite honest, I'm not even sure how much that is sometimes. So the second part, it's a two-part question. How do you evaluate a business to understand now, let's say I'm going to grow 20% this year and I don't know it? Mm-hmm. Is it a monthly maintenance sort of thing with tax planning, or is it a quarterly thing?
Yeah, so two-part question, multiple-part answer. What's great about Vesta is we are a full-service CPA-led advisory firm, so we can handle your bookkeeping, we can handle your forecasting, we can handle your taxes, your planning, your wealth, we can do it all. So by having it in-house, it's kind of a one-stop shop for everything that you may need as a business owner and as an individual. So what that might mean is, say books and records are sloppy. Well, number one, let's get your accounting in order, because the base of any planning and projection is only going to be good as the information we have. If we've got sloppy records, we're not going to be able to kind of do our best, highest value kind of work. From there, we can look at, well, forecasting. What does this look like? Are we projected for growth, or is there market uncertainty or downturns that might be coming on? Is a key client or a vendor going to have issues, and how's that going to impact what the rest of the year looks like? From there, too, we can look at the life cycle of you as a business owner and say, hey, Jason, really you should be socking away a little bit more into your retirement savings. If we do this, understanding the tax implication of what that's going to be, to use tax savings to help drive wealth, all handled within the same house. So by being able to kind of work with us more frequently, that might be a monthly, that might be at this point of the year, this is what we're going to be working on. And, we can just work as a client CPA relationship to better understand your business, better understand your goals, and how we can help you achieve them.
Wow, that was really well said. So communication is the key. You know, if I don't tell you what's actually going on in my business, and I want to try and hide my numbers here or make things look good there, that's actually in the long run not a good thing. Do you come across that type of stuff where people are like, I'm not sure I want to show you my whole situation? So getting honesty from a client and communicating their needs to you, and then keeping that line of communication open sounds like an essential part of what you do.
Yeah, and we ask the questions too to make sure that we're understanding the full picture as well. We want to be able to kind of help you understand how you're going to get there, because again, if we're not asking the questions or you're not providing all the information and then you get that surprise at the end of the day, well then what were we doing anyways, right?
Yeah. So when's the best time to start tax planning?
Yesterday, but realistically, we want to do tax planning before the end of the year, just so that we have time to kind of review what's going on, understand what the tax implications are going to be, review any strategies that we may have come up with or may come up with, so that we have time to implement them before the end of the year. There's only so much that we can do once it hits January, right? To be able to reduce your tax burden or shift your tax burden to defer it into a later period. But if we're working in real time, we could kind of understand what's going on, look at it over a longer stretch of time, and understand, kind of what tax laws or changes are going to be coming up in effect and how that might affect your business.
Sure. And then that'll give you a year over year better picture of what you're doing, so you can plan even better the next year.
That's exactly right. Like if we're looking at year to year and I've got you high taxes one year, low taxes the next, what kind of good does that do you on a cash flow basis? If we're able to kind of sustain and manage tax brackets or look longer picture in terms of doing that planning, that's where we're going to find the most value. That's going to help you as a business owner plan for cashes as well, and just kind of smooth out that tax effect over a longer period of time.
Awesome. Good stuff, Sean. Always very articulate about what you do. I really appreciate that. I can tell you love it. So.
Yeah, not everybody loves tax, but we love being able to help our business owners understand what's going on in their business and kind of help them save money so that they can have an impact in their life and our communities then.
Okay, Sean, so I told you about a problem that I had several years ago with my business where we had this big gotcha moment. Mm-hmm. How do you help people avoid those things?
Yeah, so as part of the ongoing communication that we have, we want to understand like what big income fluctuations you may have year over year or during the year even. Sometimes that may come as a result of regulation change, and so we want to be on top of what tax law changes are coming, how that may impact you or your business. Obviously, we just had an election cycle. It seems like we're constantly in an election cycle at this point, but it's a lot of dizzying things for business owners to take care of. So one way that we can help is just by being on top of the tax law changes, whatever they may be. So by being able to be your trusted advisor and being able to stay on top of those impacts and what they may have on your business, it's one less thing for you to have to worry about at night. And hopefully, we address those surprises ahead of time.
Yeah, and especially if you're going into retirement or you have a succession plan in your business. I'm not getting any younger. I don't know about you. We were talking about age before, but I have my barber try and cut around the gray hairs these days. But for retirement planning, how important is it for tax planning and those two things to kind of be meshed together?
Yeah, extremely vital. I've got a couple more years before I'm in that retirement planning stage, as much as I would like it to be sooner. But by doing a good job of retirement planning now, maybe it is a couple of years sooner that I get there. So what we like to do is we like to use some of those tax savings to help individuals also help for their retirement planning as well. Having a wealth advisory team within the house makes it so much easier for us to talk to each other rather than working with an independent person as well. We're happy to do it. It's just a little bit easier communication and collaboration when we can do it inside of one firm. The benefit of that as well is we, as a business owner, we can help you, kind of analyze what your retirement wealth gap may be and help with some of our other services to kind of grow that. So tax planning really touches into all of these different services and helps just business owners really make sure that they're considering the entire life cycle of their business as well.
Sure. So I do business up in Manitowoc. I know that you guys have an office in Sheboygan. Do you go down the shore? Where else are you located?
Yeah. So we're right along the 43 corridor there. I actually am the market leader for our North Shore Milwaukee office in Mequon. We recently opened an office in Madison as well. So we have 4 office locations in Fond du Lac, Sheboygan, the North Shore Milwaukee, and Madison. So we kind of have this nice little square rectangle there that we're able to serve local communities, growing businesses. Personally in North Shore, I'm noticing that it's an underserved market, believe it or not. And so by being able to be more proactive, it's a great opportunity for us to kind of help firms and businesses level up their service with a new CPA-led advisory firm in their backyard.
Sure. And those different regions offer different challenges as well, I'm sure. So, well, thank you so much for joining me today. Always insightful and always articulate. I appreciate you very much, Sean, and what you do here. And can you, before we go, can you give, if you had one little piece of advice for a business owner and tax planning to do right now, what would it be?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just make sure you're doing it. If you're not being proactive in your business, you're kind of just letting those surprises or gotchas sneak up on you. If you want to be on top of what's going on and be a little bit more proactive and get into that higher level role, by having a conversation with a Vesta advisor in terms of tax planning, it opens up a lot of different avenues for us to kind of help drive the value and get you into growing your business then as well.
Sure, that sounds great. What a great piece of advice. Thank you so much, Sean.
Thanks so much, Jason.
Thank you for listening to Vesta Insights. Be sure to subscribe and join us every month for guests sharing new insights on accounting, wealth, and advisory for your business success. You've been listening to Vesta Insights. For more information on Vesta, visit vesta.cpa.